Welcome to Meet the Characters, a series where we explore the fascinating stories behind the line prides and coalitions of Sabi Sand. Today we dive into the history and legacy of the Othawa Pride, a group whose story is one of resilience, loss and hope for the future. As of January 2025, the Othawa Pride is composed of 2 adult lionesses, both born in early 2021. They are the daughters of the youngest Othawa lioness, who was known as Sassy, and they were sired by the Tumela coalition, 3 young males who came from the Nauru Pride in the Manieleti. One of the Othawa lionesses is easily recognizable by the missing tip of her left ear, earning her the nickname Clipped Ear. The Tumela coalition took over the pride in late 2020, ousting the last surviving Matimba male Harry Belly. One of the Tumela males, who is the sole survivor of his coalition, still roams the western sector after the tragic loss of his brothers to bovine TB. The story of the Othawa Pride is deeply intertwined with the history of some of Sabi Sand's most iconic coalitions. The 2 old matriarchs who led the pride when Clipped Ear and her sister were born were the daughters of the legendary Mapocho coalition. The mother of the Othawa sisters, though, was sired by the Majingilani, making them their grandfathers and the Mapocho males their great-grandfathers. The old Othawa lionesses also had 2 brothers, the sons of the Mapocho. By the end of 2011, the Mapochos drove them out. They ventured into Kruger and they never returned. Over the last 15 years, the Othawa Pride has endured tremendous turmoil and heartbreaking losses. After a 6-year-long reign of the Mapocho, the Selati males took over in 2012. They sired 8 cubs, but their reign was cut short when the Majingilane coalition took over in 2014. The Majingilane killed all the Selati cubs to establish their own bloodline. Sassy and her brother, the Othawa male, were born in late 2014. But tragedy struck when hyenas killed not only their littermate but also their mother, when the cubs were only a year old, leaving them to be cared for by the other 2 Othawa lionesses. The youngsters formed a very special bond with Auntie, who could not have cubs of her own, and became a nurturing figure for them. In 2018, the reign of the Majingilani came to an end. However, at the time of their passing, the last Majingilani cubs were born, a litter of 3 boys. The power vacuum they left behind was quickly filled by the aging Matimba males Harry Belly and Ginger, who seized the opportunity. Sassy, who was 3.5 years old at the time, was the first who made it with Ginger. Of course, there was a lot of concern what would happen to the young Majingilani cubs, but to everyone's great relief, the Matimbas accepted them. But tragically, 2 of the cubs became separated from the pride for a couple of weeks, and by the time they finally reunited, it was too late. The boys were too weak and they sadly passed away shortly after. The fate of Sassy's brother, on the other hand, took an interesting turn when he was forced to leave. The Mangeni Pride, who had also lost their pride males, the Majingilani, provided an opportunity for him to sneak up on the Mangenis, who eventually tolerated his presence even though they had young cubs at the time. His sister stayed with the pride and gave birth in October 2018 to a female who is now known as Gingerella, and 2 boys, marking the final chapter of the Matimba coalition's fatherhood. In August 2019, Ginger Matimba succumbed to old age and an aggressive outbreak of mange, leaving Harry Belly as the last Matimba male standing. Harry Belly delivered. He kept patrolling and defending his territory until his cubs reached the age of 2 years. In mid-2020, 3 young males from the Nauru Pride, later known as the Tumela Coalition, arrived in the western sector. Although Hairy Belly couldn't prevent the lionesses from mating with the newcomers, he cared for his cubs, ensuring his bloodline's survival. The takeover was a gradual process, spanning over several months until the Tumela males eventually established themselves as the new coalition in the area, and after Hairy Belly's passing early 2021, the youngsters were on their own. The first year of the Tumela Coalition's reign was rather uneventful. 6 cubs were born, and with 5 of them being females, the future of the pride looked great. Despite the loss of one of the Tumela males due to TB in September 2021, the coalition did well. The cubs were thriving, and even the old matriarchs were still in good nick. Meanwhile, Gingerella, her 2 brothers, and Junior, the Majingilana son, ventured into Kruger, and we lost track of them. And then, in August 2021, Gingerella returned, with only one of her brothers. Unfortunately, we have no idea what happened to them. They disappeared like the Othawa boys in 2012, and we can only hope that the bloodline of the Othawas carries on in Kruger. Gingerella, who was 3 years old at the time, made several attempts to reunite with her family, but was ultimately unsuccessful. By late 2021, she was seen in the company of the lone Chimungwe lioness, signaling the formation of a new pride, which would prove to be a costly loss for the Othawas. The Othawa Pride's challenges continued in 2022 with the arrival of the Plains Camp males and an escalating conflict with the aging Birmingham male Nena and his 6-year-old son, the Nkuhuma male. The Territorial Battles resulted in devastating losses for the pride, including the loss of the 2 old matriarchs who sacrificed themselves to protect their lineage. With the loss of the second Tumela male, who also suffered from TB and injury, the last one was forced out of his territory. Sassy took the role of the sole protector for the 5 remaining cubs, but her efforts placed her over and over in harm's way. After suffering 2 attacks by the Chimungwe lionesses, one of whom was her own daughter, her spirit was broken. A difficult decision was made to euthanize her, which left her 2 surviving daughters at the age of 19 months to fend for themselves. The 2 young Othawa lionesses surviving at such a young age is nothing short of extraordinary. Their resilience is a testament to their powerful bloodline. During their most vulnerable time, Tumela returned and stayed with them for weeks, hunting together and providing company and support. Over the span of 2 years, they ran into many adventures with other lions and hyenas, but the strong bond they share made them overcome the most difficult time of their lives. In mid-2024, the Othawa sisters, who were a little over 3 years old at the time, attracted the attention of the Plains Camp males, the ones who had previously killed most of their siblings. One of them started mating, and recent sightings suggest the possibility of Othawa cubs on the horizon. While no definite proof of cubs has been seen yet, ranger reports of suckle marks on one of the sisters have raised excitement and hope for the pride's future. The Othawa pride carries the bloodline of legions, the Mapocho and the Majingilani. Their story is one of resilience and survival against overwhelming odds. As we wait for the next chapter in their journey, one thing is certain: the legacy of the Othawa pride continues to inspire awe and admiration.